My name's Stunt, Kruesi Originals. We're back on the Nightster. I put this side on of the American suspension, the reservoir mount. Now we're gonna go on to this side and I'm gonna show you guys how I did it.
It's my turn on the Nightster now. I put the ABS module back in. Now let me tell you a little something about this chain drive kit. Looks sick, dude. I really like the color, like the kind of grayish, almost greenish carbon goes cool with the pewter on the bike. I know there's a few other people out there in the world that have some Nightsters that are building them now. I mean, is anyone gonna build one like us? I guess we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We're out here, we were at the lot.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name's Stunt, Kruesi Originals. We're back on the Nightster. I buttoned up the exhaust side. We didn't film any of that because we've put this muffler on 3 different Nightsters already. You guys saw that. I put this side on of the American suspension, the reservoir mount and all that good stuff. Now we're gonna go on to this side and I'm gonna show you guys how I did it so you guys know how to do it. We got a guest from Cox back there putting in our new internet because CenturyLink dropped the ball and canceled our internet. So now we are going to Cox. Anyway, first thing first.
We've got Cox.
We've got Cox. American Suspension sends their universal bracket with all their reservoir shocks. So you can mount the reservoir wherever it fits on your motorcycle. And for the Nightster stuff, they send this spacer because if you look here, there's a little hole that needs to be filled. So they send you a nice spacer to fill that hole. Right now, I'm just gonna measure what size bolt they need to send. 1.15, so an inch. Remember that, an inch. Write it down for me. First thing first, mount the bracket to the reservoir. And all of this hardware will come with the kit when you buy these shocks. And thread right on. Make sure she's straight. Boom, just like that, 3 bolts. These are 15-inch American suspension Jumpmasters. You can get them in any length. If you go any higher than 15 inches, they will not work with the factory fuel tank. You'll have to either do some fancy things with it or get rid of it, which you can't because motorcycles need a fuel tank to run. So I suggest sticking with 15 inches.
It's my turn on the Nightster now. I just put the intake back in. Also, come on over this way. I put the ABS module back in. But I just made some little standoffs and then some crush washers and just plugged everything off. So it's plugged in and my modes are back. Everything is dialed, everything is back. Also put the airbox back in, but if you notice these velocity stacks are much, much shorter than, I don't know where I put them. These are Pan America velocity stacks. They're short and they're fat. There they are, look at these dudes. Here's stock, real skinny small hole, real tall, long runner. So give you more top end of the long runner, I believe is how that works. This should give us a little more grunt on the bottom. Big old hole, big sucker. I also capped off the breather that goes out of here, capped off this breather because it just goes to a head breather on this side of the motor. So the box breathes down into here, into the head, so this is your head breather. But I'm just gonna get a good old AutoZone filter and stick it on there. Stick that dude on there. Then we're also, look at that, we got a chain drive kit. Now let me tell you a little something about this chain drive kit. If my math is correct, stock ratio, which I need to really look into this, I don't know if I'm right, but stock ratio is 2.3 final drive. And this is a Pan America chain drive. Not the chain, this is a chain from our chain drive kit, but this is a Pan America rear sprocket cush drive, slides right in perfectly. Pan America front sprocket, bolts up perfectly, everything lines up perfectly. I lasered it in, it's dead on. This is a 2.5 final drive, so this is a little bit lower geared than stock. If I'm doing math right, I haven't figured out a final drive ratio in a really, really long time. Now, since I developed a chain drive kit like 13 years ago and I just know what they are now. I don't do math like that anymore. I could be right, I could be wrong. If anybody knows the actual final drive on a Pan America, or on a Nightster, I mean, please let me know if I'm wrong. But the only issue I have is this is the mount right here for the chain guard, and I gotta snug this dude up. As long as the chain is up and proper, it's not gonna touch, but it's really close, but it looks like I'm probably gonna have to clearance the back side of this dude a little bit because it like stands off over here. So I'm probably gonna have to do a little trimming if anything else. I'm setting this chain up on the very back of the axle because we're making our own sprockets. We're gonna have some Kruesi original sprockets that'll bolt up to here so we can set up different gear ratios. This is a 48 tooth. We're gonna make a 50 and a 52 and then maybe go up from there, but I wanna ride this one and see how this ratio feels, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we're gonna have different sprockets, bolt-on sprockets available for the Nightster if you put this on, and the Pan America. That will all work if you want to change the gearing on your Pan America. Or if you want to do all this stuff, this is readily available at Harley Davidson. It's not cheap, but it's really not that expensive. That's also why we were just going to develop our whole own chain drive kit with our own cush drive and everything. But it's honestly would probably cost twice as much for us to machine this stuff as it does to buy this from Harley Davidson. I think this whole rear setup was like $3 something, and this was front sprocket was like 80 bucks. And then this is like a $300 chain, but we run top quality chains, so I would suggest buying a good chain or you'll have a nightmare on your hands. Other than that, I'm gonna set it up, align it, put the gas tank on. That's super fancy. Chris wrapped it with carbon fiber, and we're gonna put that all back together. I need to get a filter, and then probably not today because it's been a long day and we've run out of time. But tomorrow I'd like to take this to the lot, do a little riding, and kind of see how she all feels. See how she goes. I think this just might be amazing. Oh shit, before I do that, I've got a recluse clutch that I need to put in. Maybe tomorrow we'll put a clutch in and go to the lot. It's gonna be a hell of a process. But today, I'm gonna finish this part right here, get things adjusted. It's gonna be all the way back, which kind of sucks for riding wheelies. Normally you wanna have your axle as far forward as possible just to get the wheel more under you. But I wanna have chain left over so I don't have to buy another chain if I go to a bigger sprocket. If I go to a bigger sprocket, I can just move the axle up and then this should still fit fine. Because this is a 530 chain, and look at how perfectly it fits. I don't have to cut any off. This is a bit longer than a Dyna. Normally you gotta cut like 3 to 6 links off. All right, well, I'll slap all these parts on and see if this could be the big does it all clear question. Gracias. Bike is still so filthy from hitting the old dirt jump, the dirt pile out at the stunt riding lot.
Definitely the easiest thing to chain kit as far as Harleys go.
Oh yeah. You don't have to pull the primary off or none of that BS. Yeah, literally all you have to do is just pull this cover off, pull the wheel out. That's it. If you want to save the belt, you take the shock off. If not, just cut it off with some side cutters or some other shit.
How many hours do we charge for a chain kit?
On a Dyna, 7 hours. Yeah, Dyna takes 7 hours to do a chain drive. This probably take an hour, maybe 2. Like just setting everything up and stuff. I'm definitely gonna have to do some clearance right here, I think, on that dude a little bit, but we'll find out when she rides. If she rubs. Also, if I go with a bigger sprocket, which I'm probably gonna end up going with a bigger sprocket if I had to guess, a bigger sprocket's gonna bring the chain higher, so we'll have more clearance. But for right now, we're just running the little 48 toother back there, which the Pan America could definitely use some gearing as well. You know, like them being so tall geared and revving so high, if you geared them down, you could just get that bottom end to come alive a lot harder. And that thing makes so much power. Imagine if you went from a 48 to a 50 tooth or a 52 tooth sprocket on the back of your Pan Am. It would be a tire fryer. Same with this dude. Ugh. I wish I could find the actual Harley Davidson final drive specs on this thing. That would make things so much easier than me trying to do some math. It's hard to do gearing math on a belt drive tooth count versus a chain drive tooth count because I don't really know if it's accurate, to be honest. I don't know enough about that. I also don't have the hardware for the old top cover up there.
You don't have the hardware for the airbox?
No, I can't find that shit. So I'm just gonna kind of rig something together. I need to go get a filter and shit for the head breather over here too. Kicking back neighborhood music. I think it's just plastic threaded.
You took it out here, right?
No, it's probably all at FXR division with the other intake. Because where's the other whole entire intake setup? There we go. I've got some shit that will probably work. These little dudes are not exactly right, but they'll get me down the road until I get a FXR division intake on it, which I'm gonna wait until we have the proper ECMs. Harley's no good at like setting their bikes up to ride. They're good at like setting them up to be cruisers. Putting on this carbon faker tank cover right now. Looks sick, dude. I really like the color. Like the kind of grayish, almost greenish carbon goes cool with the pewter on the bike. I think it's a good look. There we go. Too far. I went too far. Man, that looks sick. I know there's a few other people out there in the world that have some Nightsters that are building them now. Some other substantially known people out there, but I mean, is anyone going to build one like us? I guess we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Nightstuff. Outride us, maybe. I don't know. Not Trent. Me, I'm getting old and slow. But outbuild me? I don't know. Been doing it a long time. A long time. Since most of these kids were like in grade school that are all coming up and stuff now. They were watching Blues Clues when I was building bikes professionally. Too young for Blues Clues probably, huh? What the are they watching then? Teletubbies? I don't know what kids watch that age group. Trent was born like 3 days after I lost my virginity. Been longer than Trent's been alive. And I have an actual license plate for the bike and a registration. Some dude was talking shit on the internet about me going, oh, Kruesi's got all concerned about having a license and registration and insurance when East Coast doesn't even run a taillight. I went, neither do I, dipshit. But I've also had my license suspended 17 times. I got 4 assault with the vehicles and I've done time for car shit. So I with some insurance now that I have a clean record for the first time in my life. And my insurance is like $250 a year for everything I own. It's awesome. Unless you're in Colorado, but yes, clean records are cool. Being running from the cop guy and that kind of dildo shit, you can have that shit. I don't $800 a month insurance payment. None of them realize the years of running the streets. I also don't think I'm 46 years old and I don't need to be proving shit on the street no more. I did it, like I said, I was doing it when you motherfuckers are watching Teletubbies, so what's that one show where the chick speaks Spanish? And yeah, Dora the Explorer, that's what y'all were watching. You were watching Dora the Explorer when I was getting attempted manslaughter with a vehicle. Pussies, bunch of pussies. Seat almost done. Little blockhead. Just got it in my eyes. Smells like juicy fruit. Oh, this bike is dirty. She needs an actual bath. Clean enough. The old blockhead detailer. Wipes her down. Look at that thing. Pretty happy with it. Really dirty and real dusty. Real filthy. I got one new foot peg on. That's a Pro 1 foot peg over there. I took ours off because the clocking was wrong. That's why we haven't been selling ours either. We got to redo some of that stuff. I don't know if I like the positioning of these pegs. One thing I don't like is how far the brake pedal is away from the peg. It's like, I want it with the tip of my toe. I would rather it be like right here, not way the fork out here. Yep, boop, boop, boop. This is the seat, the 2-step. Step 1. Step 2, literally sit you right here. This thing looks, that shit looks good. I really want to ride this thing. I'm excited to try the chain. I think tomorrow we'll load up and we'll go hit the old stunt lot. The stunt lot's a little burned. Cops have been there. Some kid hit some people on a bike and they called the cops on him, which is honestly some real bitch ass shit because you're the one that decided to go to a stunt lot and stand around as a spectator at a place you had no business being because you're not a stunt rider and you got hit. That's your fault. But they called the cops and the cops have been there a lot. So we might not have a place to practice anymore. It's kind of what it looks like because people keep inviting their motherfucking friends to come watch them ride when they have no place being there. If you're not on a motorcycle, you got no place being there. That's how lots get burned. Everybody take that into heart right now. You're getting some lot etiquette 101. That's why me and Trent go in the middle of the day on weekdays. So I got to ride with all the motherfucking people. Yeah, a kid looped his bike doing like circles or something and it went off and like hit a kid and a woman. They were just there, like she had her kid and they were there watching and they got hit, like hospital hit. Which it sucks for them. Sorry to hear that they got hit, but they called the cops on the guy. Like that shit is lame. He hit me. Well, motherfucker, you're at a stunt lot. There's no barrier here. Yeah, you have no business being here. You don't call the cops. You just go to the hospital and deal with it. You take that risk on when you go show up to places like that and you go spectate. There's people there learning. They're not a bunch of professionals. There's just a lot of people are there learning, and people are learning. People wreck. It happens, and that's on you. If you're there watching, it's on you. You know what I mean? That's a fucking weapon right there. I really want to ride it. Tomorrow, we'll come back to it. I want to take it to the lot and see how it feels stock clutch. I think I put a clutch in, it's going to give me a false reading on the gear ratio because the clutch is going to be much more aggressive. So I'd like to feel stock clutch just so I can get a true like butt dyno on what it feels like with the chain. And then we'll probably come back, put a clutch in it, and then I'm going to cut the fender, build a subframe, put a scrape plate back there, have something to hit, something to do. And then I'm pretty satisfied until we have some tuning capability on the way. Some super secret, super secret, only we can get it, I'm sorry, as of right now, but we have tuning capability coming for me and Trent's Nightsters, and they're gonna be nasty. Probably gonna put mine on T4 race gas and just run it on race gas all the time, just so it smells like it's on race gas. And I'd like to make 130 horsepower. These are gonna be more of a race bike than a stunt bike. We're still gonna do some stunt riding, but we're gonna build them for purpose-built racing for the most part. We need to get some practice, because man, I have not been riding. I've been busy, so maybe tomorrow. See you in the morning. It's nice having the modes back. It's weird that you have to warm them up. It won't let you like rev it past 3,500 until the motor's warmed up. It has the safety in it, it's pretty awesome. Feels a lot torqueier, like it snaps a lot harder having a chain on it already. I just kind of rode it around and just putted around, so there's a cop sitting right over there in the neighborhood, but she feels pretty good. I'm gonna take her for a spin. A lot of spin. We're out here, we are at the lot. We are about to try out the Nightster. Trent is out there playing around with his right now. He's got the new American suspension Jumpmaster stock shocks in the back. New handlebar setup. Still stock seat, a little sketchy, but he's gonna see if he can wheelie it and see how he likes that today and tune those shocks in a little bit. And I'm gonna play around with this chain drive, see how the gearing feels. I've got a very bald tire on the back. So that should be fun. It'll work out. Don't know how well you guys can hear me. I don't have a mic on this camera because I just didn't set it up. But other than that, it should pick me up all right. I'll yell, try and give you an, oh, he's doing a wheelie. Bike definitely rips, feels a lot torqueier already with just the chain on it. And I got sport mode back, hooking the ABS back up. Hooked up all my modes and took me out of that weird limp mode that it was in. It was killing a lot of power. Oh, there you go. Bikes, you gotta bring them up to balance point really quick. They're so powerful. If you chase it all, it gets hairy. Considerably more powerful.
I don't know if I like wheeling it at all.
Now? You gotta get it deeper.
It's like, I don't know. I gotta spend some time with it, but
You gotta clutch it like real slow, just block and bring it right at the balance point, and then it smooths out.
yeah.
But you're like right here, you need to be right here. You don't got the seat for it either, but
Seat, yeah, dude. Like,
It's
I'm
like-
hooking my foot before I even clutch up.
yeah.
But like,
Clutch it
I
up
don't
and
know if I
hook
like
on the way up.
it's really fucking aggressive.
Very aggressive, yeah. That's why you gotta like, or clutch it up and up. Going faster, clutch it up, and then it's like, it's smoother, but you wanna like, you gotta get it deep real fast.
Yeah.
and then ease it back with the brakes. They're so heavy and kind of gutless. You can just, you know, excuse me, I'm sick. You can cruise them up, but this guy, you can't do that. You gotta really work it. I just about ate it right there. It definitely holds the drift a lot better. Like I can actually roll a burnout back there, like the slow when I was going around the circle. I couldn't do that before, it would bonk too much. It was like too on and off the pipe. Good, you just got to really be on the pipe. God, she likes the RPMs, which is kind of scary. Bring it up just like that, like bog it up, and then get into the brakes and like ride the brakes back, and then like when you get to here, just kind of let off the brakes and let it fall back. Don't try and bring it up to the throttle, like brake into the throttle and then release off brake to come back instead of throttling back, because they're so fucking yacky.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's gonna take some time.
It's a totally different motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sport bike.
I need a seat.
The seat's very unsecured.
It sucks.
Yeah, you want to ride this one?
I'm gonna try to figure this out.
like do it on full throttle.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
just,
not even gonna fuck with that. I don't have a crash bar.
yeah. But
wanna dump it.
if you just hammer it, the back gets real loose and easy.
Yeah.
But you gotta like give her the fucking, bring it up in RPMs while you're brake sliding, and then go like, bring it up to like 4 in the brake slide, and then come off on 5. Got it.
I'm just like sliding back, dude, and like coming out of the seat. Like the stock seat sucks for sure.
Yeah, definitely sucks. Try this one.
Yeah, let me try it with that guy.
He's got a considerable amount of more torque with the old chain drive ski there, but slow down, brake check it, and seat bounce it at a low RPM. Like use your body, less motor. Drop back. Let your arms go loose.
I'm holding on too hard, dude. I'm scared of the bike.
Yeah, you got the elbows up, holding yourself up on the bars.
Yeah.
You just lay back into it, and then just like, it's more, not vroom vroom, it's just hold it steady and then use the brake to modulate where you want to be. It's gonna take some practice.
Yeah.
I think wheelie's good. I got it pretty dialed now. I can't like do any tricks, but I can slow it way down and get deep, all that.
like the bike. I don't like how it feels to wheelie. I'm also used to my dyno. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that could go from bike to bike and shred. Like, I need to spend a lot of time with the bike and get comfortable with it. Like my dyna. That's why I'm way more comfortable on that than anything else, but it'll get there. I just need some seat time. Now I really need that seat from Saddleman, so I'm gonna keep pushing that real hard. Saddleman, give me that seat. But I don't know, dude. The bike rips. I don't think that the problem's not with the bike. It's definitely me. I just need more time with it for sure.
Yeah, need a seat.
It's tough.
That seat's awful.
Yeah.
Just sitting on it after sitting on mine, I feel like I feel like the handlebars are 100 feet away from me and I'm reaching really, really far, and that's a really unconfident feeling when you're trying to stunt ride. You want to be up on the bars, that's for sure. But other than that, it feels good. How's the suspension?
Suspension feels great.
Yeah.
The shocks are fucking phenomenal. Yeah, I have no issue with that, and the height that you get out of it's like that's what it needs for sure. But
It looks nasty.
it looks dope, dude. Yeah, it looks hard as. I love it.
With the tail lights and the reservoirs back there, it
Yeah,
looks super hard.
It looks good, dude. I just wish I could ride it better, but I'll get there. Just seat time.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep.
I just get frustrated real fast, so. My arms are getting real smoked for like holding myself up because this seat doesn't support at all.
Knee knocks look good though.
Yeah, it's definitely easier in a knee knock for me
Yeah,
right now.
I haven't tried it on that one.
Yeah.
Should try it out. Does it feel good in a knee knock? Like,
Yeah, like once you're up there, it feels really good in a knee knock.
yeah, looks good. Looks like you're doing it smooth.
It feels a lot smoother in a knee knock for sure.
Yeah.
At least, again, I keep bringing it up. Saddleman with this seat, but they'll sell so many of them, dude.
Yeah. As long as they keep our design right.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that's about a break time. We're probably wore out. Good bit of practice. Good bit of advances made with the bike. I think the chain drive is definitely where it's at. It's on a little bit lower gear ratio than stock. It's on a Pan America gear ratio, which is like a 2.5 compared to a 2.3. But I think I want to go from a 48 tooth. We are cutting some 50s and some 52s right now. I'm going to try those out. Just get a little more woof, a little more sack out of the bottom. I think the wheelies would be easier to get up quicker to balance point, and drifting would definitely be better. If I could get out of the hole with it, it would be real nice. Other than that, fully satisfied. So we got to put a big sport bike finger brake guy on the Nightster right now. None other than B-Rup Stunts, Kevin Brandon.
This thing only has 2 brakes.
Yep.
I don't know if I can really ride it or not.
I think I've been wanting to get like a real solid sport bike rider on here to ride it, because I feel like it's a lot more familiar to a sport bike, I think.
Here's the thing though, is you're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get out of it. You gotta put there's some guys that are naturally good at jumping on any bike and riding it.
Yeah.
I.e. like Bruce, like for some reason he can jump on
somebody's.
he can jump on any bike. You give him a sport bike, any year, any model, he'll jump on it, clutch up and do a circle. Me, I take like half hour to I really gotta warm up to the bike, get used to it. Some bike that you bought earlier this year, probably not really going to try to drop it back or not.
No,
you know
no,
what
no.
I mean? I'm not really going to
Just ride it, have a little fun with it.
I'll give her some blips of the throttle.
I don't think you're that good of a rider.
Watch this video. Don't be like, oh my god, I can't ride a bike without a third fucking brake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these are fucking some drifts. Chill. Now, how do you start this thing? This thing?
Here, hold on. You don't even got to hold it down. You just give it a touch. It does the rest.
Oh, dude, it's all good.
Oh, she's got GPS, dog. She's got CarPlay.
What's going on here?
I don't really know how to use it, to be
You got a
honest.
map quest for me?
Oh, yeah, look at this. It's got Bluetooth in my phone. But yeah, you got maps. It's got CarPlay. Pretty good at that. His beard is
You really feel spool up almost, it's delayed and it just kind of goes.
It hits variable valve timing at 4,000 and you'll feel it yep.
Yeah, it really just wants to go.
Oh, let me put you back in
I was
bucket.
gonna say, it's not gonna do no weird fucking traction control, none of that stuff, right?
No, it ain't got none. It's all gone. The brakes work really good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120,
Okay, pop up on the front of that seat. There's like another seat up in the front. Get way up on the front. You get up on the tank and it'll hold you there.
Oh, yeah.
So like when you go to initiate a slide, just come off heavy throttle and kind of lift up and let it eat.
She like moves a little bit when you really get into it, huh?
A little squish.
Dude, you got it like the low end is just not there.
No, you gotta give her some fucking fire.
You gotta be up in the fucking RPM, really.
Yeah, you can't just like roll it here. Just try and J-turn.
Well, I thought like how smoked the tire is, I could just like kind of like, you know, slide in, kind of, it's like,
Now, give her the pepper. And get up on the front of the seat. The back will get light as hell. It needs two. You're getting pretty good at it.
I'm gonna get that thing out. The power bin's gonna rip in, and I'm just gonna loop it. I can already see it.
You gotta ride the brakes up and stay at a steady RPM, and then to get deeper, let off the brake.
Dude, if you just ride it straight and you just like normal throttle it, you go, and like I feel like I'm gonna wheelie it, and it's gonna go like same thing. And
Oh, it definitely will. You gotta try and seat bounce it straight to balance point and catch it and go from there.
There's no chance I'm doing that with this thing.
She's violent, huh?
It's very aggressive, very violent. But if it were my own bike, it'd be one thing. But I ain't trying to wreck somebody else's bike.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's not something in my budget, you know, for this year. Maybe next year. A couple sponsors on the one, you know, just looking destroy some bikes. But until then,
Yeah, that's the only way I have them.
pretty sick, very different. It's I mean, like I definitely think you gotta do something with the low end. Like I think if you sprocket or I mean, I don't know what you got. Like if you're gonna do cams or something like that, but yeah, it's like the low end, and then the intensity is almost just like a two-stroke. Like you just hit that power bin and it fucking goes.
Yeah.
But
So I think if it had a much bigger sprocket, so it could roll up that bottom end and it not be.
You could just be at it a lot faster. Like you're gonna be going slow, or you're gonna lose top speed, but you'll already be there clutching up, going slow, and I think you'd be in that the whole time, as opposed to like the scary part is you're not in it until like you'd have to clutch up going 30 to be in it already. You know what I mean? But clutching up going slow and being not in it and then hitting it is like that's the crazy part about it. I think. Like I said, like guys with two strokes and shit would probably use that. Probably get used to it, but.
On the street, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You clutch it up at 30 in first gear and
fastest. I mean, probably does almost 100 in first gear or some shit, doesn't she? It's just things quick.
It'll do 145 in fifth. I know that for a fact.
She's fucking.
She's a 6-speed, so it'll do close to, I say, $180.
Yeah.
Would it hold together at that speed? I mean, that's moving on a real light motorcycle.
Drifting was honestly that drifting. Just the small bit I did with it was just like you just get into it and then you're in it and you're like, holy I'm going, like I'm kind of going. You know, and you're like, but I gotta stay here or else I'm gonna like bog out and eat it.
It high sides fast as shit too.
So I'm like, I gotta just stay in it, and then you're just ripping.
You can't be like lazy and cheat like you can a Dyna. Like a Dyna, you can just let her bog and bob and slide her around. And this dude, she ain't having that shit.
Right. You have like a nice shitty tire on a Dyna, and she just slides on glass. This thing ain't gonna do nothing until you just like get in that power. Like
our 23 makes 120 wheel horsepower with a tune. Like it makes 30 more horsepower than this one does. And that thing, you can just eat the tire loose all the time.
Really?
Yeah, you can just bop, and it'll dig out of a hole, it'll dig out of anything. With a chain and 120 wheel, I think it would be a monster.
Even with this, I mean, I know you got a pretty swung tire, but even with this thing, when I first was just going up and down the street, just getting on it, like just going all the way on it, like she went.
Yeah, dude, stock with just our slip-on muffler, you can just hit the throttle and burn the tire off.
Be a cool bike to see somebody who can really get under or get on top of, I guess. Stunt out. It'd be it'd be a different style.
Yeah.
Cool to see whoever does it first.
Something new.
Yeah.